To the association we go. The Don got it done. Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers have agreed to a 3-year, $165 million maximum contract extension with a player option in 2028. Agent Bill Duffy of WME Basketball told ESPN the new deal keeps the Don out of free agency next summer. And with that, we welcome in our senior NBA insider, Shams Charania. So Shams, why did Luka only sign a 3-year deal?
Well, still, it's a commitment, Christine, and it's really the coronation of him as the face of this Lakers organization officially moving forward. But the 3 years was done so that he can have a player option in 2028 that'll allow him to sign a 5-year, $417 million contract that offseason. And that will allow him to recoup the money that he lost by missing out on the Supermax contract. He was eligible for a $345 million deal this offseason if he was still a Dallas Maverick. But of course, they traded him in arguably the most stunning trade in pro sports history. And so for him now, it's all about competing with the Lakers. He's already been a part of their offseason plans, recruited Marcus Smart, made multiple calls for Marcus Smart to get him. DeAndre Ayton, he has a relationship with him as well. So this 3-year period moving forward now gives Luka Doncic also a chance to evaluate the Lakers and see what moves are they making, how can they position themselves to win the championship. It was a commitment, even though it's a little bit short right now, for the next 3 years. It was a commitment the Lakers really wanted over the weekend.
Okay, so everything that you just said kind of plays into the question that I think fans always want to ask. Is it Luka's team? Is it LeBron's team? What does Luka signing mean for LeBron James's future?
Christine, it means that the Lakers and LeBron James are continuing to try to find this delicate balance that exists. This is a player that's entering a record 23rd NBA season. He's going to be 41 years old in December. He's making over $50 million. All of these three things I just mentioned has literally never happened in the history of the NBA. And that means no one really knows how to handle this. These are uncharted waters. And now you have Luka Doncic coming in, clearly the face of the organization. What I do know is that quote that Rich Paul gave me the day that LeBron James opted in late June. And that's that LeBron wants to continue to compete for a championship, whether that's in LA, whether that's elsewhere. The Lakers feel like they've beefed up this roster to make moves. And he has been supportive and understanding of not only Luka Doncic as the face of this team or the franchise, but the direction that this Lakers organization is going, looking more into the future. Especially after the last 7 years of LeBron James era that did result in a championship and a Western Conference Finals appearance.
It's so crazy, too, to think about the fact that LeBron is 41, Luka's in his 20s, so they have a big age gap there. But I feel like the OG, just let the OG be an OG. Thanks, Sean.
Waves over the weekend, signing Luka Doncic to a 3-year, $165 million extension. And the deal includes a player option and keeps Luka in LA through at least 2028, which begs the question, what will this team look like in a post-LeBron retirement world? So back here with Avery Johnson and Coach, we know Luka is going to be in LA for years to come. The same can't quite, though, be said for LeBron. So if you're Rob Pelinka, who's a star you'd be eyeing maybe to team up with Luka, maybe once that LeBron situation and he eventually says goodbye to the NBA?
Yeah, Keanu, you're right. I believe this is LeBron James' last year in a Lakers uniform. I don't see him, if he wins a championship, he goes out on his high horse and he's won a championship. If they don't win a championship, which I think is the more likely possibility, even if he decides to play another year, it's going to be in another uniform. Maybe, with Cleveland, maybe even the Dallas Mavericks, who knows? So Luka would need a guy like a Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think this is the only option for the Lakers to bring in Giannis. Damian Lillard, basically released him. Now he's with Portland and he'll be out next year. With Giannis, this is going to be somewhat of a rebuild, especially in the backcourt without Damian Lillard. That was a failed process compared to when he won a championship with Drew Holiday, who also is now in Portland. So I think the only guy that can really make this right, especially if LeBron James is not in uniform, who would balance off his strengths and weaknesses along with Luka's strengths and weaknesses. Terrific defensive player to protect Luka, even a Luka that's in better shape. I like this new body that Luka's has been showing. So I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is the only guy that makes sense for La La Land in the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, that's if this is a farewell tour for LeBron, whether that might be in the league or at least with the Lakers, but maybe an audition for maybe bringing in a new star to LA to partner with Luka. As always, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Through 7 seasons, Luka averaging nearly 29 points per game. That's good for third most in league history, only behind Michael Jordan and Will Chamberlain. You may have heard of him.
Yeah, it was a great deal all around for the Lakers, at least, right? You secure Luka 6 months after you get him. That was not, or at least should not, have been the given that I think Laker fans thought. It's very hard to develop a relationship, to develop trust in 6 months. Luka would have been very justified in saying, I want to keep my options open. I want to see if there's a better team out there for me in free agency. But he put his faith in the Lakers, and now we look ahead to next year and we look ahead to 2027. The Lakers are going to be a max cap space team for the next couple of off seasons, right? Or at least they have the ability to get there if they want to. 2026, not looking too enticing. Case in point, De'Aaron Fox just re-signed. Jaren Jackson re-signs earlier in the offseason. Not really many great free agents for them to chase, but 2027, that's when Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo are currently set to become free agents. Their bet right now is that with Luka locked up, they can signal to the rest of the league, come to Los Angeles. You'll be able to compete here. You don't have to worry about Luka leaving. Can he recruit the next guy? I suspect he'll be able to, because all of Laker history tells us that once you get the first star, you get the second. You get LeBron, Anthony Davis follows. You trade for Kareem, look at that, you draft Magic Johnson. I don't know who the co-star is going to be, but I suspect they're going to be able to find that next guy, and you get Luka on a discount. It'll make it a little bit easier to fit. Remember, he couldn't get the Supermax with the Lakers because they didn't draft him. They didn't trade for him within the first 4 years of his career. He's at a 30% max instead of a 35% max. This is a bargain for the Lakers. It was a boon for them to get him to sign rather than testing free agency. Now they look ahead to getting his sidekick.
Yeah, it's crazy to think you're getting value on Luka Doncic, but it's seemingly that the reception that we've seen, especially even with the Fox News, that we...
It's a 4-year deal worth $229 million. The deal keeping Fox and San Antonio through the 2029-2030 season. Back in February, the Kings sent Fox to the Spurs in a 3-team trade involving the Bulls. Fox is a former All-Star who averaged 23.5 points per game last season. We're now joined by CBS Sports NBA analyst and former Spur Avery Johnson. And Coach, I got to get your initial reaction just to the Spurs making this $229 million commitment to De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, even though the Spurs couldn't officially agree on this deal until now with De'Aaron Fox, this was part of that trade scenario when De'Aaron Fox decided to come over to the Spurs. His representatives and Spurs representatives probably had an understanding that they were going to sign a 3 or 4 year extension. And with this 4-year max extension, it keeps De'Aaron Fox around for the next, 4 or 5 years with the Spurs, leading that team, potentially trying to get them back into the playoffs. And now, with Chris Paul going on to the Los Angeles Clippers, this is basically, De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama's team.